Hello, everyone. Again, leading today's discussion is myself, Vikas. I am Director of GenAI COE at Factspan. My focus is guiding enterprises and providing consulting in the space of GenAI for our clients, be it in the space of technical guidance or guiding them through on how they can transition from initial exploration to fully scaled in production environments. Joining me today is Rimisha Faison, a partner solutions architect from AWS. She brings extensive experience in architecting AI/ML platforms, leveraging AWS cloud infrastructure. Rimisha, great to have you with us. Could you briefly introduce yourself?
So, hi everyone. I'm Ramisha Faison. I've been with AWS for about 3 years, but I've been in the tech space for about 8 years, working from startups to enterprise customers, ranging from a variety of different industries, from supply chain to retail. And so, I'm happy to be here with Factspan. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Ramisha. We are excited to collaborate today with you. So to start the session out, let's briefly look at today's agenda. Uh, to start with, Ramisha will discuss the evolution of Gen AI and how enterprises can get ready for it. She'll also share best practices for building scalable Gen AI solution specifically on AWS. After that, I'll walk you through Factspan's insights and accelerators designed to address common scaling challenges. Then we'll explore Factspan's Flux platform, highlighting our Flux Gen BI capabilities. Finally, we will end with a live demo, followed by Q&A and next steps. With that, I'll hand it over to Rimisha to kick us off by exploring Gen AI evolution and enterprise readiness. Over to you, Rimisha.
Thank you. So, what we're witnessing with generative AI is truly remarkable. A technology evolution that typically takes a decade has really just been compressed into just a few years. So, looking at this evolution, we can clearly identify distinct phases. So, in 2023, organizations were primarily in their exploration mode, conducting proof of concepts, experimenting with like different models and identifying potential use cases. This was about understanding capabilities and possibilities. And so just last year in 2024, we shifted into the production phase. Companies are deploying generative AI solutions at scale, integrating them into products, services, and internal workflows. So we were starting to see real implementations across industries from healthcare to financial services to retail. So now, here we are, 2025. The focus is shifted again, this time toward measurable business value. Organizations are becoming more sophisticated in how they evaluate and optimize their AI investments, looking for tangible outcomes like revenue growth, cost reduction, and improved customer experiences. Throughout this rapid evolution, it's worth noting that security, privacy, and responsible AI remain constant priorities. These aren't separate considerations, but really just integral components of successful implementation strategies. And so you can see this accelerated timeline reflects both the transformative potential of Gen AI, also the competitive pressure of organizations to feel and adapt to quickly. And so we'll go into our next slide where we have a quote from Garner. So Garner has put a concrete number on the trend I just described. So by 2026, more than 80% of enterprises will have deployed generative AI APIs or applications. And so this isn't just an incremental change. It represents a fundamental shift in how business operates. So, to put this in perspective, think about cloud computing, which took over a decade to reach similar adoption levels. So, really, what's driving this rapid adoption? And there are three key factors. And so, first, the accessibility of these technologies, APIs, and pre trained models have dramatically lowered the barrier to entry, allowing organizations to implement generative AI without massive investments in infrastructure or specialized talent. And so, second is also the versatility of applications from content creation and customer service to data analysis and product development. Generative AI is proving valuable across virtually every business function. And third, of course, is the competitive landscape. Early adopters are already gaining advantage in efficiency, innovation, and customer experience, creating pressures for others to follow suit. So, if you haven't begun your generative AI journey, you'll learn a lot today, and we'll be able to talk about how you can take advantage. Next slide. And so at AWS, we have Amazon Bedrock, which is a service that comes with five key components, which is really everything you need to build, deploy, and scale GenAI applications. So, first, you can use high performing foundational models from leading companies, including Amazon's own model, which is Nova. And then there are also like third party partner models. And so, Anthropic, this really gives you the flexibility to choose the right model for your specific use case. And so, second, you can scale cost effectively with various consumption modes, features, and models to balance cost, latency, and accuracy based on your business requirements. And so, third, we have Bedrock allows you to use contextual information from your company's private data sources to deliver more relevant, accurate, and customized responses for your users. And then fourth, you can implement safeguard customized to your application requirements and responsible AI policies, ensuring your AI applications align with your organization's values and compliance needs. And then finally, Bedrock seamlessly connects with company systems, APIs, and data sources to drive automation across your business processes. So now we'll get back to our partner Factspan, who has leveraged the capabilities to deliver real business value. Factspan has been able to harness the power of Amazon Bedrock to create solutions that allow users to ask questions in natural language, truly democratizing access to data and insight. Their implementation empowers business users by eliminating technical barriers, and you don't need to do complex querying or understand data structure. Instead, you can simply ask questions the way you would naturally ask it and get meaningful answers powered by Amazon's Bedrock, and which will work with your organization's data. So I will hand it over to our partners at Factspan, who will share more about their innovative approach and how they're helping organizations transform their data interaction experience.
Thanks, Ramisha. I think that provides an excellent context on how AWS offers the necessary scalability that is required for GenAI, obviously with the services like Bedrock that we have. Now that we have covered platform readiness, let's probably zoom in why so many promising GenAI pilots get stuck before they ever reach production. Working with some of our key clients, we have identified or we have seen some of the six critical factors across these clientele, which left unaddressed can derail your scaling efforts. We call these as six stop signs that we have seen. Number one, reliability and hallucination guardrails. So when we work on a control pilot, it usually happens that the accuracy is obviously on the higher side. Now, when it goes into production, any unchecked hallucination that happens on the fly when user interacts, it can quickly erode the trust that is built upon while we were doing a pilot. That is where it's required that we have specific evals done much earlier stage before it goes live in production. That's one of the key important steps that everyone has to follow. The second one is on infrastructure gaps. A prototype might run on a developer laptop, right? But a production environment demands a containerized. In some cases, it requires a GPU accelerator environments and obviously a clear deployment pipeline from the day one. The third one is around data roadblocks. Many enterprises obviously have siloed system. They do not have the right metadata. Most of the time, the knowledge bases are not have the right data format. That obviously blocks the effectiveness of the RAG pipelines, which leads to inconsistent outputs. Now, we do have a solution to tackle that that I'll talk later in the slides. The fourth point is on the security checkpoint. Every interaction that we do with our clients, the first question that we get asked is basically, how secured is this, right? For any enterprise adoption to happen, it requires that models has to deployed within VPC network. It has to have a strict data access control. It has to have a comprehensive privacy safeguards. Everything must meet the organization security standards. It should run through the AI governance committee or any of these processes that they have. The fifth point is around modeling the cost. Now, it happens every time that while we are working on a pilot, we overlook on the ongoing expenses. Now, that can be the expenses on your compute, storage, and only about the token usage as well. That obviously needs to create a convincing ROI for your business leadership. The sixth and final, the most important one is organizational buy-in. uh, Scaling is not just about technology challenge, right? It's also an organizational challenge. You need to have an executive sponsorship, need to have a robust change management, and also you have to integrate the Gen application within your existing workflows to move beyond the POCs or pilot phases. Precisely because of these challenges that we have seen, Factspan has developed a comprehensive approach and set of accelerator stack for someone to get fast track on this entire journey. On the right hand side, you see those specific key points. We leverage the accelerators that build rapid MVPs, establish iterative feedbacks, uh, in turn, that obviously accelerates the development lifecycle. So our pre-built frameworks that includes ready to deploy rack pipelines. How do we handle the data complexity? How do we involve and build uh, based on the data complexity of the tech stack that clients have? All these come hand in hand, and we leverage those as a frameworks and build accelerators are on top of that. We also have Flux, which I'll talk in a while, which provides low code, no code capabilities. It provides a right playground for GenAI development and enabling wider adoption. We also utilize domain specific templates. We have fine tuning kits to build small language models, which ensures that the models are accurate and relevant to your specific business needs. One of the critical component of this approach is also justifying the investment, right? Moving beyond pilot cost, it's our value quantification framework, which I want to talk about in my next slide. So as we understood earlier, this year focus for business leader is just to justify the ROI, and it exactly why we built this framework out. uh, it gives you a clear end-to-end view of both cost and benefit. uh, let's look at the key factors we analyze within this frameworks, right? Moving from the left to right. First, we account for application implementation, and then it also accounts the maintenance cost that is involved to get this GenAI application within your existing application or modifying an existing system as well. One of the example that I want to throw over here is we were working with a healthcare client. We created a custom GenAI support application for them. Now that has to be integrated with their existing platform. That required us to revamp our cost modeling effort with them, see how it fits out, what increases the productivity, where all it should fit in the entire workflow. So that is first part of it. Next is basically the cost associated with the models themselves. This considers the size, the type of the model used, whether they are foundational models, fine-tuned models, or custom builds. Then we factor in the inference infrastructure cost. This covers the cloud resources in some areas for the hardware cost. There is also operational overhead required to run the AI models at scale. Equally important is the infrastructure related to data, right? Because that's the crucial part of it. And that includes the cost and effort for sourcing the data, engineering it, making sure it's managed well, and also leveraging some of the public data sets if required for a specific use case. Uh, we also include the user cost. Now, what it means is basically elements like user training that is associated with the GenAI application, right? Because we are changing a shift or a workflow for a knowledge worker. So obviously we have to train them, and that cost also needs to be incurred while you are proposing for a ROI for a business use case. Finally, a significant variable cost that is particularly for RAG application. It's a token for cost per inference, because any output that gets generated by LLM, it's cost on the output, the total length of the output, or the total tokens that have generated, right? It's both input and output. So that variable factor also needs to be considered while we are proposing for a ROI model. Now, by quantifying each of the six areas, we reveal the total cost profile to the clients. We benchmark those costs against the clearly defined business benefits. Now, that can be time savings, it can be accuracy improvements, it can be revenue uplifts, or it can be cost reduction for a specific use case. With that foundation in place, let me just shift gears and explore some of the highest impact GenAI use cases we are seeing across industries today. Right. So on the slide, we have tried to showcase some of the areas where we are seeing significant business value being unlocked. We have tried to group them basis the business areas to provide a clear overview of what's possible. Let's look at some of the examples. In software engineering, we are seeing a powerful benefits through AI copilots that assist with code generation. We have helped our clients in automating that entire test data management and web test automation framework as well. For our clients who are into the space of digital transformation, we have worked with them to speed up the entire data modernization and migrate the projects well efficiently. For the sectors like healthcare and life sciences, we have transformed the entire document workflows, be it summarizing patient intake forms, be it clinical notes, to assisting research teams with complex documentation and analysis. For the clients, for every verticals, the one of the key business unit is customer operation and support. We have helped the clients by building an intelligent chatbots, virtual agents, which enhances the first line support. They also improving in the rate of deflection. It also helps providing sentiment monitoring for better customer engagement. For the retail and e-commerce clients, we have again helped improve the customer experience by providing them a natural language search and shopping assistance, which are intelligent enough to handle any of the queries that come in place. There are also use cases where we have streamlined the entire product listing process, right? Be it enhancing the product uh, content information, checking it as per the internal style guidelines, or checking the copyright issues that goes for the product listings. For financial services and insurance, again, there are use cases where we have applied to streamline the document processing in the space of claim processing automation, right? For the sales and marketing, I want to give an example from our own organization where our sales team uses a inside sales agent to support to clear out all the sales automation processes. Our marketing team also uses it for content moderation, content enrichment as well. Now, looking at the GenAI for business intelligence, this is an area of immense potential and rapid development that is happening. Uh, the concept is to enable natural language querying, conversational analytics, and providing instant root cause explanation for the complex data patterns. This use case is fundamentally changing how business leaders are interacting right now with the data. They have a dashboards, but platform like this is only enhancing their or improving their decision making process. Uh, Now, obviously, implementing this requires a robust foundation, and I would ask Ramisha to maybe provide her perspective from AWS, where uh, she is seeing the most activity, what makes these types of use cases successful on the AWS platform. Uh, Ramisha, if you can just throw some lights of what you are seeing, that would help our audience to take a pick.
So, thank you for highlighting those use cases. So, from what we're seeing at AWS, organizations are achieving the most success when they build on a strong foundation that can scale with their ambition. So, our Nova Foundation, along with services like Amazon Bedrock, are specifically designed to address the enterprise challenges of implementing generative AI at scale. So, let me share the three key areas where we're seeing the most activity. So, first would be in knowledge management and retrieval. So, companies have vast repositories of internal documentation that they're using our foundational models with retrieval augmentation generation, so with RAG capabilities, to make that knowledge accessible and actionable. So, what makes these implementations successful is the ability to securely connect to private data sources while maintaining governance over both the data and model outputs. And so, secondly, we're seeing tremendous activity in customer experience transformation. So, organizations are implementing intelligence assistants that can understand context, access relevant information, provide personalized responses. The key to scaling these use cases is having infrastructure that can handle variable workloads efficiently. And so, third, and we're seeing a lot more content creation and summarization use cases. And these are gaining traction across all industries. And what makes these successful is the ability to customize foundation and models to specific domains and use cases without massive investments in model training. And so they're able to have fine tuning capabilities, which allows them to be have a lot more performance and cost efficiency.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ramesh. I think that insight is crucial. It basically confirms that these valuable use cases that we have also seen are actively being implemented on a fact foundation that supports enterprise needs. Now, once we have the use cases identified, one of the key questions that we keep getting is how do we accelerate the real world implementation, right? How can I deploy these solutions back in a prod environment? So this is precisely where Factspan's approach and Flux platform provides the answer. And that takes me to this slide where we have tried to capture the journey of the entire development lifecycle for GenAI use case. So looking at a typical development lifecycle illustrated at the top here, the process from initial use case ideation through rollout often takes around 16 weeks or more. Our goal at Factspan is to drastically reduce that time to value for our clients. So by leveraging our Flux platform and built-in accelerators, we compress this journey to approximately 10 weeks on average for most of these use cases. Now, the question is, how do we achieve this acceleration, right? While we have to ensure the quality and also the enterprise readiness. And it's through the integrated frameworks that I talked and also the components that you see listed below. It starts with a centralized marketplace architecture where we have reusable assets like our use case blueprint library, we have prompt template registry. That would mean that teams aren't just starting from the scratch. They have pre-built components and best practices ready to go, which just kickstarts the initial development. At the core, it's also a solid foundation LLM layer. This is not just connecting or creating the wrappers around the models. It also includes essential capabilities like having a robust RAG and text to SQL connectors for interacting with the structured and unstructured data. Also having a LLM as a judge evaluation engine, which can fast track the entire evaluation process. Uh, this entire platform is built on a Flux microservices framework. We call it as GenAI Foundry. We also provide UI component toolkits to significantly speed up the development of user-facing applications. That in turn obviously improves the time to market. So this integrated approach also includes some of the assets like training playbooks, prompt tuning guides, right? To ensure that there is a successful user adoption and to optimize the future modification that clients may have to do on their own. So how does this platform actually look and feel like, right? So let's take a closer look at Flux and post that I'll specifically take up GenBI capability also. Here it is. So Flux is our one-stop platform for generative AI. It is designed to leverage large language models to generate insights and solutions across various domains. And importantly, Flux is also available directly on AWS Marketplace, making the deployment and integration straightforward for any client who is enterprise ready on AWS. So this platform comprises of three modules designed to serve different user needs and accelerate the GenAI journey. First is the GenAI Studio that is shown here, right? So it is for business users and developers. It enables quick analysis, experimentation, and interaction with various data types of modality. It can be code, it can be data, it can be video, audio, or any files that someone uploads. It just backs the concept where you bring in your own data and do play around with it, right? One of the use cases this gets deployed for our clients in this is basically it allows our clients to create a playground within their internal infrastructure. For any client who wants to understand the capability of GenAI within their organization, what they do is they create a GenAI studio within their enterprise network, which acts as a playground for their business team to play with. Their business team play around and experiment with the use cases. This enables the GenAI enablement team who is steering the entire efforts on GenAI to understand what use cases are sticking, where people are using the GenAI most. Is it on the summarization? Is it on the code related one? Is it something to fast track the workflow? So that insight basically becomes a lever for the centralized team to build the bespoke models or bespoke tools around. Second is FactLM Copilot. Uh, think this as a AI assistant, which basically accelerates the entire GenAI journey. It's through pre-built domain-specific copilots. We have this tailored for areas like sales, marketing, HR, and even for a specialized role, something like for pharmacy business manager in the space of healthcare and life sciences, which enables faster data analysis, preparation, and report generation. Third one is FactLM Evaluate. It's designed specifically for developers, and as a data science project, building a LLM application also requires an iterative process, right? Be it from prompt engineering and experimentation to a rigorous evaluation of outputs. So that entire life cycle of LLM ops gets solved with FactLM Evaluate. So that's a overview of comprehensive Factspan's Flux platform and its capabilities. Let me specifically zoom in one of the most impactful areas where we are seeing GenAI transform, and that is business intelligence. Now, briefly talking about this space, right? Traditionally, BI relies heavily on static dashboards, and being an analyst coming from that background, I understand that creating a dashboard often takes a lot of time, 2 weeks to 3 weeks, just to push a initial version. Uh, Now, when it's in prod or it's on a server, business users still do not get the right insight at the right time. They still go back and ask the analyst to do the double down of a specific metric, and that results the analytics team get buried into a backlog of data requests, right? So the moment the business user is asking a question, they might have lost the opportunity to capture the market, because that's the change, that the dynamics are changing for the market, right? So you need to have faster real-time data-driven insights. That's where Flux Gen BI solves this dilemma. It provides instant clarity, replacing slow, rigid dashboards with a natural language interface where user can ask a questions in plain English and get precise, immediate answers. It empowers every team, right? By uniting your data sources with a sophisticated semantic layer, Flux Gen BI delivers verified, consistent answers across the organizations. But what sets Gen BI apart from the other approaches or the solutions that are out there? How does it deliver these lightning fast, reliable insights? Obviously, building a rock solid trust, right? The reason is that it's powered by a specific set of core components. At the left, you see those core components. At the heart, it's an agent-driven architecture that understands users' intent and orchestrates the query process intelligently. There is a sophisticated semantic layer management which ensures accuracy and provides context, mapping your natural language to your complex data structure. We have embedded a query metadata management that tracks history, enhances the understanding over the time, makes sure the SQL that gets converted is right as per the historical one that have been run. We have also tried to embed analyst workflow as a human in the loop, ensuring that there is a validation and trust wherever it's needed. All of this is governed by an automated metrics layer that provides consistent definitions and calculations across all your data. Uh, and importantly, we have also offered this as an integration with the platforms like Tableau, which we call as Flux Insights X, that allows enterprise leverage their current BI ecosystem. Now, this architecture delivers tangible results. We have seen this reclaim around 75 to 90% of analytics workload get automated. We have seen 85% of the users showing high satisfaction rate. There are teams which have achieved 10x faster root cause insights compared to the traditional manual analysis that they do right now. Maybe instead of just talking about it, let me just quickly see Flux Gen BI in action. I'll now move into the live demo to show you how you can query your business data using natural language. Let me just switch to, all right. Yeah, let me just start sharing my screen for Flux. Here you go. Yeah. So as I previously explained, this is our Flux platform. It has three modules. We have each module take care of different type of modalities. For the co-pilots, we have different AI assistants in place. We have FactLM agentic layer as well. So for today's demo, I'll just switch to marketing analyst agent. Now this is built to take care of any of the NLQs in the space of marketing, right? Again, going back to the scenario which I explained, where we have the dashboard in place that's released to the business users. Now business users start looking at the charts, and suddenly they see there is a dip in one of the metrics. So for here, the demo for demo purposes, uh, we are showing a dashboard which is around uh, attribution model, which keeps a track of number of units and bookings. Now, what I've done here is I have asked a question where typical business users tend to have deep dive questions, right? They come back and ask saying that why there is a drop in units and bookings for the week 4. Uh, Now the same question here, what our Flux platform is doing is it is mimicking the entire scenario or workflow of what analyst does. Uh, coming from an analyst background, right? We usually tend to create hypothesis, start listing down the potential drivers that might be impacting that metric. So on the right hand side, if you see, these are the 5 potential drivers that the agent has come by. One of it is, can this there be a reason for specific channel not performing well? The second is around, is there a possibility that some of the regions are not performing well? Is there a drop because of certain product categories? Is there because of the CAC did not work correctly for some of the spend efficiency? So all these hypotheses or potential drivers, the LLM now starts building a SQL query out of it. That is our query crafter agent, which if you see on my right hand side, it has generated a right type of SQL queries. Now again, these logics are embedded in the semantic layer that we have. So once these queries are run, uh, our summary IQ agent just pulls all the data that is out there and summarizes the insights. It divides them into a primary insights and also a deep down level of insights, right? So you don't just get the answer, you get the RCA behind it. What are the driving factors that is impacting this metric to go down, right? Now see the details of the output here. You're getting the specific metric or the specific category that is deviating this metric. Uh, some of the channels which are not performing good, it is trying to tag it to that, right? So you this is the level of insights that gets created, and also there is a insight canvas agent which tries to create the charts out of it, right? So for every potential drivers, you have the specific charts which any business leaders can copy and paste in the PPT where they are trying to present it. Now this clearly sets out the things, right, where where it enhances the entire business workflow. I hope this resonated well with what you guys are seeing, or it's something that you guys want to build in house as well. We are ready to discuss on this. I just have 5 to 10 minutes, but I'll just quickly open the floor for Q&A. Uh, Ramisha, if you want to add something, please feel free to do that. But let me just get the screen back now. All right. Yeah. All
And
right.
I just wanted to add that with what ties all of these like successful implementations together is a foundation that addresses what we call enterprise essentials. So it's their security controls behind there, there's data privacy, responsible AI governance, and then of course the seamless integration with your system. And so this makes Generative AI a really promising use case to scale beyond your initial pilots. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Uh, I think we are open for questions now. Feel free to put the question using the Q&A panel or the chat feature that you see in the webinar interface. Both Remisha and from AWS and myself are here to answer your questions.
So we have a first question. It says, does all of this work in a multi-cloud environment?
Yes, it does. But specifically, what AWS helps us is to power and accelerate that process of accelerating it for enterprises, and that's the capability of having it on the AWS Bedrock, which allows us to create these agentic frameworks well within and it basically accelerates the entire process, right? So we do leverage the capability of AWS services to get this quickly adopted for our clients.
Okay, that was the only question that I see.
We'll give a couple of more minutes. If there are any more questions, feel free to drop in. Any part of this discussion, if it's uh, resonated with their existing workflows, feel free to drop that too. We want to hear if there are any questions around market trends, if there are any specific questions on Gen AI capabilities like Bedrock. Uh,
Um,
yeah,
we have a question. Can you throw a light on data security Flux is offering?
right. So Flux, we offer this code as a service. This obviously gets deployed within the customer's VPC network, as I mentioned earlier, right? So whatever we build within enterprise clients ecosystem, leveraging all the services that AWS also offers, be it on how do we handle the RBAC, how do we handle the observability aspect of it, all we do within the client's environment. The model that we leverage is obviously hosted in the client's environment, so it's all secured. We also put in enough guardrails to make sure there's no hallucination, there's no uh, uh, issues on the security aspects like uh, API or fitting and all. Sorry, yeah.
That is all I see for Q&A. We did get a good session. Thank you. Thank you all for attending.
Yeah, yeah. If there are any questions, feel free to drop it to me or to Ramisha. We just shared our email IDs. Do check out our website. Uh, you will be transitioned to AWS Marketplace where we have all our solution being deployed. Feel free to ask questions over there and reach us back.